Welcome, welcome. Real Estate with Ryan in the studios on a Saturday. Excited to be with you guys. A little rain outside. At least it's rain when we're recording this. Enjoy the weekend. Vols are off and so excited to be with you. I think our listener count may be off. The Vols aren't playing. Maybe we got a couple more people listening to the show. Again, my name is Ryan Coleman, tuning in every Saturday to bring you the up-to-date information on the real estate market and what's going on. End of the year, it's election time. You're going to love this show. We're talking about how will a presidential election affect the real estate market. Officially, once this comes out, we've got less than a week or so before the election. It's been a crazy 2020, and we're going to start talking about that here in a few. Little congrats, little celebration here. I want to start the show with number one. Best of Knoxville came out by the Knoxville News Sentinel. And we are proud to announce that, yes, we won as a company and myself as an individual. So excited about that award. We won that a couple of years, and it means a lot. I think one of the biggest awards me and April talk about is it's because it's done by the people. It's done by our hard work. It talks about, a lot of those videos that you do and different things that you help the community about and doing those sales. We say, hey, guys, you're just in real estate. And it's true. We're in real estate sales, and we help people and we sell real estate, but it allows me to touch a lot of people throughout the year, a lot of great people, a lot of great clients, people that I've never would meet if it wasn't for my career in real estate. So thankful for you guys to vote us, both company and individual, Best of Knoxville. It means the world. We thank you so much for the support. And we're always trying to work really hard to earn your business in the future. So if you guys know somebody that's thinking about buying or selling, if we could be of any service, we'd love to help them. You know the number. It's an easy number, 693-SOLD, or you can visit us online at my website at ryancoleman.org. So let's jump into the show. Super excited about that news. It is that time of the year. It is officially, we're going to be 2 months until the end of the year. Holidays, we have Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so as we're going around this time, we go, okay, what's the opportunity as we're selling? We know 2020 was a crazy year, and it's winding down to be one for the record books. So what about if I'm thinking about relocating? If I'm moving, I want to put the house on the market. We know the mortgage rates are insanely low. So we're going to talk about that. And then typically every election cycle, every 4 years, we run into this. I wrote down some numbers from some different articles that we pulled, and typically appreciation may drop off during election year. This year we saw about home prices rise about 6% before. Home prices rose 4.5 on average per year of the elections, and then home prices rose 5.3 after the elections. And you say, what affects that? Well, obviously this year, more than ever, we're about as hostile and volatile as we've ever seen. You've got the right, you've got the left. You've got people protesting in the streets. You got rioters. You've got COVID. You've got job loss. You've got, the housing market has limited inventory. You've got unsustained potential layoffs. Where are we at? We got a political divide. How does that affect the real estate market? How does it affect you? In real estate, always consistently, in anything that you buy, I think one of the biggest things that you're going to see is it's that consumer confidence. Right now, we're coming from a strong high. We got a president that's in there that has stimulated the economy, to move the economy. If I say something wrong, you think I'm either right or left. I'm not going to get involved on politics. I don't want to be bashed on the radio or any of that kind of stuff. So I won't even get there. But I think, you have to look at where we're at, and we're one of the best job markets and economies in a long time until this COVID hit. And so where are we going to see the future going? Like anything, you could only go so high, have that opportunity with the market or employment or stocks. There's always going to be an adjustment. We have to understand that. Real estate is that we're one of those cycles as well. It goes up, it goes down. And there's going to be corrections in the marketplace. Where are you at? I was talking to somebody the other day about real estate in a whole, in general, and there's no perfect time on real estate. one of the biggest things we do is we talk on a consistent basis to people. And I tell my sales staff, I tell my administrative staff, I say, really is what can we do to help you? What can we do to serve you? How can we be of value? I mean, that's really what it is. We're solving problems. We're helping people, whether they're relocating, whether they're seniors and we need to downsize. And that's a hard move. We got to go to something that's a condo. Maybe it's we're relocating out of town. People are relocating out of the states, coming to East Tennessee in droves. Low unemployment, no property tax, not getting taxed left and right. I was meeting with a client the other day. He said, "Hey, I was possibly going to Cleveland, Ohio, and I have family back there, but we're considering Alabama. But to Ohio, you basically get taxed your pension, you get taxed for real estate. The wife said you get taxed to breathe." And I was like, "Oh, geez." So, but you see why there's so much value in East Tennessee. I mean, we really overall, as you look at some of the states, it really is one of the best places to live. And I think what you're seeing is a lot of people have seen that, but with this pandemic, a lot of people are really looking elsewhere, other opportunities. Tennessee is on the map, and for a lot of people, we're seeing that. So that's a challenge when we've got limited inventory across the country, and now they're coming here. We've got more buyers and sellers. But will that last in 2021? What's on the horizon? As we're going into the end of the year, we've got November and December. There's some uncertainty in the market, and some certainty where if you have your home on the market, do you put it on the market now? Do you wait? Or you put it on the market the first of the year? Well, that's where you're looking at that individual, what's your plan? What's what we talk about, everybody. We have that opportunity. We say, listen, what's important about the move? Because everybody wants to time the market exactly perfect, but it's real more about your important decision, what motivates you and why are you doing what you need to do. So I would look at the market as a whole and understand where we're at and see if that move makes sense for you and if we can help you. I think if you're planning on selling in the next 6 months, some of the things I want to come into play. So we know over the last couple years, there's been several tax deductions for credits for property owners, right? We have longest running tax breaks on record. The Trump administrations have done tax cuts on the new job acts. And then obviously, whether you have a change of election or not, some of those pertaining tax deductions could be affected. The remaining one, and one of the biggest ones, is up to $10,000 for property taxes. Now, there's some debate on whether that could be changed if new administration gets into office, and there's a difference for first-time buyers. There's also under pressure for our tax exchange. So if you guys are aware of the 1031 tax exchange, that's still an availability for investors now, that if you're in the marketplace, if you buy a property, relinquish a property, let's say we're selling one in Tennessee, buying in Florida, or selling in Florida, buying in Tennessee, you still have the property to defer that tax through a tax exchange. There's some pressure on the ballot box now that those tax exchanges could be gone. Something to look at. We talk about the consumer confidence, and we go back to 2016 in that opportunity during there. A lot of the economy and the housing market were closely tied together. And a lot of that has pressure on jobs and where consumers are feeling confident. I always tell everybody, if the buyers aren't confident in the marketplace, no matter the price range, if they're not confident in their job, they're not going to go back and make these purchases. So obviously that has a lot to do with the economy affecting job growth and where we're at. Let's talk about some numbers ready in 2021 and how that affected over the years. We're seeing housing prices in election off years only average 0.22 more than the housing prices in the election year. In 2006, housing prices increased by only 3%, a drop from 2014, 5%. Home sales rose by, on average, 10% on average the year of the election. Home sales rose 12% the year of the election, and then a 10% adjustment after the election. I remember back in the day, I don't remember what year, it was one of the Bushes that we're in, and we were in the marketplace. I'll never forget it. We had a property that we were renovating. Actually, it was new construction build. We built it, It was out there a little in the rural area, so a little bit harder to push, a little bit harder to sell. And essentially, we built the property. It was ready to go, hit the market. I think we timed it almost perfectly. There was an election. I think it was when President Obama was coming in, Bush was leaving out, and there was a big debate. There was never a more time where we couldn't get anybody into the property. It was like the market just collapsed. And the biggest feedback was, we're just waiting for the election. And I think you could see some of that in this marketplace, and you could see that trend even into 2021. So are we going to experience that in 2021? I don't know. But you're going to have to stay with me on this break, and we'll talk more about that on the second part of the show. You'll listen to Real Estate with Ryan.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling your home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're talking about a little real estate with Ryan, talking about the election. How's that going to affect the real estate market? And you just don't know. That's the question. You just don't know where it's going to come, what's going to happen. That's the power of real estate. It's always up in the air. I tell everybody, listen, buying or selling, you never know. There's never a bad time to do it. Obviously, if you're going to do it and the market's strong, take advantage of it, because real estate is like everything. It's timing. I'm going to carry more in our show, but I want to do a little plug, one of our properties that I want to make you aware about. If you're thinking about Oak Ridge, one of the top schools in the state, by the way, if you're relocating in the area, we've got a great property out there, 140 Center Park Lane. It's 5,300 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, over 1.2 acres. Beautiful property, full basements, got a kitchen down there, entertaining, another bedroom down there. Beautiful community. We sold several in there. Great neighbors, convenient to Hardin Valley, convenient to the interstate. It's definitely a must-see. So if you're thinking about looking in Oak Ridge, got a great price on it at $530. Make sure you check out that listing. It's on ryancoleman.org. We got more information on there. We got a virtual tour you can take a tour on and look at that property. Let's talk more about the economy going back into this election. January nationwide inventory continued to decline, while median list price climbed nearly $300,000. According to Realtor.com, last month marked a re-acceleration in price gains. An increasing number of cities posted yearly growth of 10%. 10%. So there's plenty of shoppers out there with that. And as we go into the second part of the election, in this part where it's basically crunch time, both candidates are out there, they're making their final pitch, their final push. People are getting a little tentative. I just pulled an article from CNBC, and they said that the Fed is running out on limited opportunities to prop up the economy or do more. I mean, that's kind of where we're at now. It's $2.2 trillion was pushed into the economy with the Stimulus CARES Act. They're talking about another stimulus to keep things going. A lot of that could be regarding its election time. They want to keep everything as calm as possible. One of the things that I was talking to one of my clients about is if we're going to put the home on the market, typically we'll kind of segue into this call. Fall is a great opportunity. April and the team and everybody here understands that fall is our go time. I texted Nick the other day. I was like, let's go. It is go time around fall. And the reason being fall is go time is because it's the most opportune time to sell a property. And let me tell you why in East Tennessee. Number one, we're about to list a property. It's $1.5 million. It's in Sequoia area. It's got beautiful views, but it's right when the leaves are all looking at its best. The property's looking at its best. People are in the Smokies. They're doing the tours. And guess what? Most businesses, they're going to bring new employees on and do the transfers happen when? At the end of the year. They come in October. Some of our luxury properties, this is where everybody pulls the home off the market, or they get that wrong advice from the agent and they say, we'll just pull it off and put it on spring. I say, no, don't do that. We put one last year that was on the market at several years. It was an upper $2 million range, and we sold it. And guess when it sold? Right in January and February, right when everybody else wasn't selling. I think it was in January, actually. So that opportunity during this opportunity pre-spring is golden. And I think now more than ever, with limited opportunity, of course, whatever happens in the election is going to happen. Who knows, they could battle it out for months the way things are looking. You have an opportunity to put your home on the market where the most amount of people are looking. Interest rates are low. We're going to see that continue on through January and February, okay? But there are some people that are tentative. So with that being said, on the opportunity of being tentative, let's make that opportunity, have that conversation now. While we're setting appointments consistently, my team is on here today working hard to have these conversations to get the home on the market, maybe sooner than you would think. Maybe it's a delayed approach. Maybe you need to do a coming soon. We're doing one of those to kind of test the waters and see what's going on in the market. But let's talk about that, because the opportunity in January, one of the biggest issues that we may face is the moratorium. All right. So the CARES Act has a forbearance with a lot of these mortgages are delayed, where if you couldn't afford to pay or you had some job loss, then they've pushed those to the end of the year. After January, more than likely, those are going to expire. So we may see a flux of inventory in the market, or some inventory in the market that are more a aggressive sale. And keep in mind, if you're wanting that perfect price or that perfect dollar, what happens is when those come into the marketplace, that is your next sale. That is your next comparable, right? And so if that's your next comparable, that just affected your neighborhood by a sale. Yes, the motivation comes into play, but keep that in mind. That's why I say timing, you're never going to get it 100% perfect. You know, if 98, 99% of everything is lining up, let's pull the trigger, have us come out, let's talk about that conversation of moving forward. Overall, if you look at everything, we're expecting 2021 to be a strong year, but there is going to be some uncertainty that you probably wouldn't see in 2020. I think one of the opportunities we're looking into fall, and we talk about some bullet points or some positives of why the fall is a great opportunity. I think one of the things as you're looking to fall, and it happens, right? You know, you're thinking about selling, the sales market is limited. You know, the biggest thing is let's cut the real estate agents out and we can make more money. I think there's some things that we want you to think about, and not because I'm just a real estate agent, but the opportunity to you know, it's never about what you charge, right? It's what you walk away with. So we want to protect our equity, and we need somebody out there fighting to do that. But there's a whole nother avenue in 2020 if you think about possibly selling your home. You know, your safety is number one. Now with COVID and so much things going on, spikes in certain areas are coming into play. Selling for sale by owner is an opportunity there. Unfortunately, you have to think about bringing people in your home and the protocols that we do on a daily basis here at our office. So those are things as selling your home on your own, you're going to have to think about how are you going to handle showings? How are you going to bring people, maybe a lot of people from out of state in your area, and how are you going to handle that? Do you have the protocol, the setups, and things like that? Number two is, most importantly, we're going to have an online strategy now more than ever. I know our office is very strong digitally, targeting all through across the U.S. You have to nowadays. And do you have a strategy that's going to attract a buyer and bring them from out of state to show your property? Even with limited inventory, we're watching homes every day that our office reaches out that properties don't sell. And we talk about on this show all the time that in Knoxville, sometimes the homes don't sell the first time around. You know, the National Association of Realtors have shown that before COVID, the first 44% of people took tongue-tied. The first 44% of buyers took to looking at homes, and they started that process. I really think that online is closer to 80. Okay. Throughout that process, jumps to 93% today that has grown. And I think that's probably a strong indication of the market where the people are starting online. We have walkthrough tours. We have things that are technology, virtual tours, drones of communities so buyers can see more. If you don't have that marketing strategy and a paid social media reach that we're reaching consumers out of state, you're leaving money on the table. You need a team that's going to walk you through that process. And then the negotiations, right? We always talk about it. Last show, we're talking about buyers want a deal. Sellers want to save money. It's that time. There's no extra money to be left. I get it. But there's a lot of negotiations that have to come into play. Buyers obviously want the best deal. A lot of the challenges in the marketplace, if you're thinking about for sale by owner or doing some different opportunities there, is there's a lack of competition. And then of course we're talking to appraisals. We're getting record high sales. So you have to wait to be able to negotiate the appraisals and have those conversations regarding that. Another big one is make sure that they're pre-approved with everything that's going on in the marketplace today, because lenders are tightening the market. As there's so much money that's put into the economy, guess what? Lenders are tightening the credit scores. They're tightening the down payments. That's part of sign of inflation, right? And what are we going to do with that kind of tightening of the market? You need a great agent. This show is always about having a great agent, a great team to try to help you walk you through the process. I tell everybody, I don't want to charge you anything. We don't want to charge you anything unless we can bring value. And that's our goal. You're going to delegate us to hopefully help find your forever home, sell your forever home, and in 2020, and lead it in 2021, put the most money in your pocket and allow you guys to do what you do best. There is no science to this. There's a lot of moving parts. Hopefully, if you come across that this year, or if you need somebody, a friend, a referral that we can help you with, we're here for you. That's what we do. That's why we're voted best in Knoxville. That's why we're proud sponsor of the Vols. That's why we do this show every week for you, so we can bring a little inside behind what we do and kind of put the face with the name, or the voice with the name. And me and my wife ultimately thank you guys so much for the vote of confidence. We're here every week. We hope to see you next week. If you need us, it's 693-SOLD or RyanColeman.org. Have a great weekend.